ChatGPT, the world's most advanced AI till now, is creating sensation ever since its first launch since November 2022. It is massive how ChatGPT is growing day by day. Just to demonstrate its popularity, it has reached 1 million users within 5 days of its launch. That's very massive compared to Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platform. Facebook itself took like 2 years to reach the same 1 million users, whereas Instagram took 2 months to reach the same 1 million users. That demonstrates how ChatGPT is growing day by day. Currently, it is being used by 20 million users per month across the globe. From answering simple questions to solving complex problems, ChatGPT has been helpful across various industries. In this video, let's see how we can leverage the power of AI and use ChatGPT to become better software engineer. Let's ask ChatGPT to write some code for us, fix some bugs in the code, and to explain the code as well as to write some test cases as well. Let's also give some random problem from Leetcode to ChatGPT and see whether if it can solve the problem and whether it can explain the problem well. Hi, this is Vamsi from coderefer.com and you are watching Coderefer YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel and if you like coding related tips, tricks and trends, then do subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos. So without wasting further time, let's dive straight into the code. Let's quickly open the google.com and let's search for ChatGPT and click on enter. So this is the OpenAI website. Let's open this one. So click on try ChatGPT. If you are logged in already, this opens this window, or otherwise you can log into ChatGPT using your credentials and then you will get this particular pane. I can say anything, like I can ask any questions here, like what's a DP or dynamic programming, and we will basically try to answer our questions. So dynamic programming is a problem solving technique used in computer science. So let's use this ChatGPT to write some code logic in our Visual Studio Code, which we'll use in our day-to-day life as a programmer. So let's open Visual Studio Code first. Here's my Visual Studio Code, quickly open, and let's create a project. So in order to get this command, you need to get this package installed, which is nothing but language support for Java by Red Hat. If you have these extensions installed, you will get this particular command line, simple command, Control-Shift-P in Windows, I think in Mac Command-Shift-P. So I'll write create Java project. So if I click on this one, the project location, and input a Java project name. So I am using ChatGPT demo. So this is my project, which is created with source package, which is already having app.java by default. Visual Studio Code plugin has created us this particular class, which we can run. If I click on run, I need to check whether everything is working or not. So I am able to see hello world, so that's good actually. So since we don't need this, let's delete this one, move to recycle bin. So let me create a new file. I'll call this as demo.java, which is our entry point. So we'll have our main function, main method. So let's save this quickly. We want to divide two numbers. Let's create a simple function, public static int divide, which takes two numbers, int a, int b, return, will divide a by b. We know that in our Java language we will be getting arithmetic exception for that. So let's try to call this one divide anything by 0, 5, 0. Let's try it out, save. If I try to run it, I'll get arithmetic exception. So as we are able to see in the terminal, we are able to get the exception very clearly. So it started in line 7, that we already know. So let's see whether we can be able to use ChatGPT to check this bug or not. So here we are, and let's go to our extensions package. clicking on extensions. Now try to search ChatGPT. If you search ChatGPT, there will be a lot of plugins which will be coming. So let's try this one. I already used this one previously. This is the previous plugin, which is a famous plugin, but that got deprecated, and they are suggesting to use this ChatGPT Genie AI. So let's click on this. Now it is installed. So now let's see whether this ChatGPT is able to identify this bug or not. If I select this particular method and if I right click on this, there are plenty of options which are added by this Genie plugin. So if I click on find bugs, in the first instance when it is running the plugin, it will ask for API key, which is nothing but the login credentials. Using this API key, we will be automatically logging into our ChatGPT particular account. So to get that, click on this link simply. So it will take you to our respective OpenAI website. Now simply enter the particular key and click on enter. So that should show us some UI like this. It is thinking, basically it is fetching from OpenAI website. So it is trying to find the solution for this code. Now the Genie plugin, it's giving some data. It already predicted the divide by zero error which we will be encountering. So basically the code will throw an arithmetic exception. If the divisor b is 0, you can add a check to see if the b is 0 and handle that condition accordingly. So basically it is suggesting some code changes. This actually works because like if b is 0, then we are simply throwing the arithmetic exception, and if it is not 0, then we are returning a by b. So let's copy this one, or let's quickly select this particular block and click on insert. Now it has inserted the particular code in our console. Let's try to run again. Now let's see. So it is throwing an exception directly. Basically it is able to identify the bugs. So let's do one more thing. Let's ask a simple thing. So I'm just adding this particular method and I'm just entering two values. Let's ask ChatGPT to fill this particular problem. So here is what we have: complete code. Let's click on this, whether it is able to suggest data to be filled in this method or not. So basically we are giving the method name. I think it should predict by that particular method name and based on the given inputs. Yeah, so basically it has written same thing. So we got the particular divide method. It's still explaining what are the different possibilities. We already selected this block and clicking on insert. So now this automatically filled our code block. So that's a great way to fill some code using ChatGPT. So let's click on run. So it's the same thing. This is how we can fill our data using ChatGPT. We can ask some method suggestions as well. So it can be able to populate some methods as well. That is how we'll leverage the ChatGPT to fill some data in the code blocks. So now let's simply ask ChatGPT to explain some random code. Let's bring some random code which we already written in our code refer website. Okay, let's go to the first link, house robber problem, which we have recently added. So if I go into this particular problem, it's a simple DP problem. So let's copy the solution. Let's paste it here. I think solution is not needed and this one is not needed. Control S. So there is one import statement which I need to bring. So quick fix. Clicking on that, import java.util.rs. That should fix the problem. So now let's try to ask ChatGPT to explain this code. Let's see whether it is able to explain this code properly or not. The given code is implementing a solution for the problem of finding amount of money robbed from houses in a row where each house has a certain. Actually that's quite surprising because ChatGPT is able to identify the problem as well by the two particular methods itself, and it is able to explain all the question as well. So that's a surprising one. It is clearly explaining the particular method blocks. The first method, rob method, takes an array of integers, nums as input representing the amount of money in each house. It initializes an integer variable n with the length of input array nums. So basically it is giving all the explanation. So finally it calls a recursive function rec, passing n-1, the last index of input array along with the nums and dp arrays as arguments. So it is explaining very well actually. So it has explained even the pick and non-pick strategy as well. I think pick represents the amount of money that can be robbed if we pick the current house. I'm quite impressed because based on this particular variable it is able to define the pick and non-pick strategy. So that's a clear explanation here. So I'm not sure it is challenging the Leetcode premium subscription as well. So yeah, so that's a great explanation. As you know, as a software developer we generally write test cases. Let's see if ChatGPT is able to do that as well. Let's click on this one. So write the test cases for this one. So it's thinking, let's give it some time. Yeah, it's giving the JUnit test cases. So it's creating the test cases for rob method. It's giving some sample data, nums array. So the expected is equal to 4, demo.rob nums expected result. So basically if we see this data, the obvious thing is it will rob the first house and third house. The output is 4. In the second test case we only rob the non-adjacent houses. So 2 plus 9 plus 1. So this is the maximum value which we can get. So the expected is 12. All these are test cases where it is covering even the edge case scenarios where the nums are not there. The expected is 0. So it is covering the edge case as well. So that's impressive actually. So basically it is creating test cases as well, which are pretty much useful in our intermediate programmer day-to-day jobs. It's very advantageous to have this one. So this pretty much covers most of the scenarios which we thought of asking ChatGPT. So there is one scenario which we are left with. Now lastly, let us finish this video by giving ChatGPT a random Leetcode problem, which is I have selected this problem, which is nothing but longest palindromic substring. So we'll see how ChatGPT, whether it is able to solve this problem, whether it is able to pass the Leetcode challenge or not. So it's a simple statement: given a string S, return the longest palindromic substring in S. So let's copy this one and let's open our Visual Studio Code and paste the problem here. Click on enter. Let us give it some time. It is suggesting us that we'll be using the concept of DP. Let's define a 2D boolean array DP where DP of ij represents where the substring from index I to j is a palindrome or not. In other words, DP I of j will be true if s dot substring of I comma j plus 1 is a palindrome and false otherwise. So basically it is showing the approach as well. So good thing is it is even giving us the comments as well, and it's explaining every part of the program. Let's copy this one. Let's paste it in our Leetcode. Is it in Java? Yes, it's in Java. Let's click on run first. Both test cases are accepted. Let's click on submit. Yeah, it's accepted. So clearly ChatGPT is very powerful, and yeah, it is able to solve the Leetcode problem as well. There are different ways of approach, even dynamic programming, and there are few more approaches which were mentioned here. So basically the time complexity for this dynamic programming is O of n square. Let's ask it what is the time complexity of the same. It's very accurate actually. Time complexity of above algorithm for finding the longest palindromic substring is O of n square, where n is the length of the input. So it also explained how we got the O of n square. Even it is suggesting that we can improve this algorithm to the time complexity of O of n by using Manacher's algorithm. Sorry if I misspelled it. If you go back to Leetcode, this particular Manacher's algorithm is not even explained. It is left to the users to find it. But let's see if ChatGPT is able to like find the solution using manager's algorithm. So yeah, it's even trying to solve in manager's algorithm. So it is explaining about that. Manager's algorithm is a linear time algorithm that can find the longest palindromic substring of a given string in O of n time complexity. So here is the Python code. Oh, okay. So finally it has written the Python code for manager's algorithm. Write the code for the above in Java. Let's see whether it is able to do the manager's algorithm. Wow, it is trying to implement in Java as well. It's very awesome to see how the particular AI is built. Actually, it is clearly explaining every step, and it is giving examples in whatever language you want. I sincerely doubt whether I will renew my Leetcode subscription or not. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you like this video. Do follow our channel for more interesting such videos, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is Vamsi from Code4, and see you in the next video.